for that. So the Indiana Pacers have now beaten the Milwaukee Bucks 4 out of 5 times this season. Keyshawn, what does that tell you about the Bucks that many experts pick to win it all?
Nothing. It's a good matchup. In the East, it's one of those matchups, man, like anything. They see you a lot. This is not about Dame Lillard, Skip.
This is not
one of those situations.
You swung and missed again.
No, because look, he minus 22, he had 23 points. He didn't shoot it well. 6 of 18, there's no question about it. But it's not about that.
All right.
It's just not. And I know where you're trying to go.
I'm about to go there.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this. It's about that dude right there, Halliburton. That's a different dude, man. That dude's a different dude, man. And watching him. Dude, I know we were supposed to be talking about the Bucks, but I love watching this dude. And when I watched him last night, he threw one pass, then he walked. He was high-rise. He was like, this guy can't cover me. This guy. I mean, if he was in L.A., he would be a superstar. That, with his style in class, all that stuff right there.
Keyshawn, what happened was 5 straight times Halliburton outplayed Damian Lillard. I'm sorry he just did, because look at the numbers for the 5 games. Dame only averaged 25 and 6, but he shot 32% from the floor in the 5 games and 27% from 3, while Halliburton was just lighting it up. And they do miss their defensive edge that got set. The tone got set by Drew Holiday, and they're not the same defensively, especially against an Indiana that just runs and guns, man.
And you know what? They showed some highlights of Giannis trailing. Giannis usually running up and down, but Giannis trailing that fast break.
It's early
but that Indiana, that's a different fast break. That's a different fast break. They go, boy. They can run.
Keyshawn, you got to give it up here.
No, he did. Look, they good, but
that's it for today's Undisputed. We are back tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern, and I
will be talking about him like Steph if he was in the
The Lakers opened as 6.5-point favorites for their home game last night against the Heat, who were without Jimmy Butler, without Caleb Martin, and who, of course, lost Gabe Vincent from last year's finals team to the Lakers and Max Strus off last year's finals team to Cleveland. Yet the Lakers came out flat and unfocused, without energy, without intensity, turned it over 10 times in the first quarter, quickly fell behind by 10, did hold the Heat to only 19 points in the third quarter, but surrendered 38 points in the fourth and lost 110-96. The Lakers followed LeBron's lead from the three-point line. He was 0 for 6. They went 4 of 30 from 3. That's 13%. The Los Angeles Lakers, winners of the NBA's first ever in-season tournament, have now lost 8 of their last 10 to fall to 17 and 18 and 10th place in the West, the final play-in spot. But maybe the biggest surprise of the night was that LeBron James left without speaking to the media. That's a rarity for him. He left Darvin Ham and Anthony Davis and the rest of his teammates to try to answer all the what's wrong with the Lakers questions. And by the way, LeBron was a game worst minus 20 in plus-minus. So, Keyshawn, you grew up in L.A. as a Laker fan. In your eyes, what is the biggest problem with this team right here, right now?
I just want to see your perspective and how it changes now from when you talk Lakers to Cowboys. That's just me. I just want to let you know. But no, I want to see it.
It's going to be the same perspective,
I just want you to know what I'm looking for when you're talking.
They're not very good right now. That's number one. Let's start there. Then when you talk about what the issues are, you mentioned 4 of 30. That's an issue. Yeah. We were one of the, if not the worst three-point shooting team.
You're 24th. 24th out of 30. Okay.
In the history of the NBA based on last night.
Of the history of the Lakers, for sure.
And when you look at defensively, we tend to not want to play defense all of a sudden once we got out of the tournament.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if they are listening to what's being told to them and retaining that information.
I agree.
From the sideline.
Yep.
You look at the way Anthony Davis again played well. Even though he was in the minus category, he played well.
Yeah, but he did.
You know, we turned the ball over a lot. What do we have, 21 turnovers? 21 to the Heat's 8.
Yep.
You can't win games that way. You're certainly not going to win that way. And then, you know, you never want to be a coach killer. Mm-hmm. That's not my intent. That's not who I am. I like Darvin Ham. But they're not responding to what he's teaching them and trying to get them both off fit. We went from one of the best defensive teams under Frank Vogel to one of the worst. I mean, that's just the reality of it.
You still rank 11th overall in defensive efficiency, but I'm not seeing it from night to night.
It's not night to night.
Yeah. But I saw it against Indiana in the championship game of the in-season tournament.
Yeah, but you're adding that in-season tournament to the rest of the season.
And it doesn't count.
It does not count like that. Yeah. So you're trying to figure out, okay, what's the next move here? What are we going to do? Do we really need to go get a Zach LaVine? Is that really going to help us? A guy who's coming off an injury? Or do we need to just have a sit down with one another and have a real conversation? And that's why LeBron exited the building without speaking to the reporters. Because he had a bad night, number one. He didn't feel like fielding questions about a bad night, I'm sure. Yeah. But also, you can't expect a 39-year-old to come out every single night and do this work. Even if he was 22, you can't expect that. Mm-hmm. Others have got to step up around you for you to be able to get to the ultimate goal and prize. Yeah. We were able to win in the bubble because everybody stepped up. Bubble or not, we were able to win the in-season tournament because everybody stepped up. Right. Yep. But since then, as you mentioned, Skip, you've lost 8 of your last 10. 8 of your last 10.
That's just wrong.
It's not good at all. No. And now you're sitting in the 10th spot, as I said to you yesterday. You'll be at 11. You'll be at 12. You'll be at 13. And those teams that are 13 will start passing you up. And then you will be looking on the outside, you know, trying to figure out how to get in.
You've been checking out New Orleans lately? Yeah. They found themselves. Been checking out the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have come of age right before your very eyes. Right. My point is, up above you are all these teams that are getting better and better and better. Go ahead.
But they're an older team, and they feel like they're going to flick that switch and turn it on when they need to. Now, Key, I asked that in the beginning of all of this because it's a lot alike. These two, Cowboys and Lakers, a lot of similarities. They have a team that you know they can win with, but they don't always play like they need to play. Wouldn't you say that's the reality?
I don't know. I don't know that.
In the tournament, biggest problem, we can talk about three-point shooting. In the in-season tournament, they were number 1 in three-point shooting. So now how do you go from number 1 in three-point shooting, drop all the way down 24? So you can do it, but you're not doing it. I thought it was interesting what Anthony Davis said. He said sometimes when we go bad on offense, it makes our defense worse. Yeah. I thought most coaches say, let's just play defense and offense will come. So now you're saying if I don't hit this three-pointer, I don't want to go play defense.